Ohio Senator and the Republican nominee for Vice President, J.D. Vance, joins me now. I just have to tell you, Senator, the vibe here compared to Milwaukee is so different. It's not the same energy. It's not the same type of people. What do you expect to see this week at the Democrats' convention?
Well, first of all, Jesse, keep your head on a swivel because I know there are a lot of pro-Hamas protesters out there. So you gotta keep your eye on your six.
I mean,
man.
they're
but
also
look,
giving
I
out
think that what these guys
vasectomies for free, so I got to really pay attention.
Well, it is funny. The Democrats accuse me of lying when I say that they're anti-child and they schedule free vasectomies at their convention. I don't know what to take from that, Jesse. But look, yeah. I think the reason the energy is different, Jesse, is because these guys know that they're running a candidate who's fundamentally a phantom. There's no actual evidence that Kamala Harris knows what she believes. She's not talking to the media. And her entire argument so far, of course, scripted via a teleprompter, Jesse, is that if you elect her president, she will somehow fix the inflation and border crisis that was caused by her leadership and promoted by her policies. So the entire idea that Democrats can run this fake campaign for another 80 days, where their argument is fundamentally that Kamala Harris has nothing to do with the administration where she's the vice president, Jesse, just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I think that's why the Democrats' convention is low energy. I'm sure the Hamas protesters don't help.
When you hear Kamala Harris says she wants to pick the price of bacon, she's going to say what cheese costs in Cincinnati. She's going to say what a head of lettuce is going to cost in Las Vegas. How do you guys process this? You're running against someone that's just completely out of touch with how capitalism works.
Well, you know, Jesse, it's a scarcity versus a prosperity mindset. I think Kamala Harris's basic approach is that she's going to increase the cost of fuel, increase the cost of food, increase the cost of housing, and then try to use her government magic wand to control the prices that people are charged for things. And I think you contrast that to Donald Trump's prosperity mindset, which is we're going to unleash American energy, we're going to unleash American workers, we're going to reduce the regulatory burden so that we can make more things in America and drive down the costs using the ingenuity and the talent of American workers. It's just a totally different approach. And I don't think that any person believes that Kamala Harris can wave a magic wand and bring down the price of bacon. I do think that we believe that she can wave her magic wand and actually make things even worse than she's already made them, which is why Americans are not going to buy into this idea that Kamala Harris deserves a promotion, Jesse. It just doesn't make sense. Just one more point on this price control issue, Jesse. This has been tried in multiple different countries by failed governments, and what it does is it makes the problem even worse. We know what we need to do to bring down the cost of American food and American housing. We just need to enable Americans to do more without the government controlling how they live their lives. That is the path to prosperity here, and it's shameful and ridiculous that Kamala Harris doesn't want to try it out.
You've seen the Republican Party really unite behind this ticket, and you saw that unity there in Milwaukee. The Democrats here are saying they're united, but Biden's hightailing it out of here after he speaks tonight. The Obamas hate Biden. Biden hates Nancy. Nancy's not talking to Joe. The Clintons are here. It's a disaster. Do you think the Democrats are as unified as they say they are? We just heard Don Lemon in Cincinnati talk to a slew of African-American voters. Half of them in Cincinnati say they're going Trump.
No, I don't think that they're united at all, Jesse. Again, it's all a phantom. It's all a mirage. Remember, a month ago, these are the guys who were telling us, backed up by the media, that Joe Biden, who couldn't complete a sentence, was Albert Einstein, right? He's the most brilliant president that we had ever had. And the minute it became obvious that he was political dead weight, they threw him overboard, and they're not trying to pick up the pieces, Jesse. I think that we've just witnessed in this country a month-long campaign to completely separate Kamala Harris from the administration where she is the vice president. It takes a lot of aggressive lying and a lot of shamelessness to pull it off, but you don't feel good when you look in yourself in the mirror after lying about Kamala Harris's record for the past month. And so I think Democrats just recognize this doesn't make any sense. Our entire pitch to voters is elect Kamala Harris, the person who's been vice president for 3.5 years, and she'll she'll change all the bad policies. I think they all realize, and this convention really drives it home, they don't really have a leg to stand on.
All right. And you and Donald Trump are going to be driving that message home as you hit all these battleground states this week. J.D. Vance, thanks so much for coming on Primetime. Good luck out there.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.